So I grew up in a small town in Vermont, about 20 minutes south of the Vermont's state capital of Montpelier, and I came from a really big family. I have a large extended family. I have all sorts of aunts and uncles running around. I have more cousins than I can count on both my fingers and my toes. There are a lot of people in my family, and every year at Thanksgiving, one of the things that we did was everyone got together for big, awesome Thanksgiving dinners. It was probably my grandmother's favorite thing in the world to be involved in those before she passed away several years ago. And there really are some of my best memories from my childhood, which were the big Thanksgiving dinners with the family and also the Christmas gatherings and stuff like that. And apparently now, if we were doing the same thing today in Vermont that we did 20 years ago, I would have been interrogated by my school teachers who are demanding to know if my parents had anyone over to the house for Thanksgiving. Now, it is worth remembering at this juncture that Vermont's governor is a Republican. He is a literal, I guess maybe more of a technical Republican than a literal Republican. But guys, this type of nonsense is why I am so absolutely adamant that people who are committed to individual liberties and freedoms, we need to put the rest of our flipping differences aside for a second and commit to taking over the Republican Party, because the easiest way to gain a powerful presence in politics, I believe from my layman's terms, is by co-opting an already existing power structure. One of my greatest fears is that regardless of what happens with Trump, whether he ultimately ends up prevailing or whether Biden ends up getting inaugurated, regardless of the outcome there, is that the Republican Party is going to go back to what it was before Trump, and that cannot happen. If that happens, the establishment wins. If that happens, the Republican Party, like people like Vermont's governor, and frankly, my governor in New Hampshire, Chris Sununu, who I've got my eye on you, Chris. I'm not happy about you either. Like, if these are the people that are allowed to lead the Republican Party, then no one should be complaining when they continue to infringe on our individual liberties and freedoms. So I have a lot of differences with conservatives. I do, but you got to see, dude, you guys got to back up and see the big picture here. If we can all get on board with, I want to live my life the way I want to live it, and you can live your life the way you want to live it, and live and let live, man. Like, it's not my business how you live your life. If we can get on board with those basic goddamn principles, then we should be able to work together. Instead of having all these people running around, like I see a lot happening right now with people saying, oh, you can only be a Republican if you believe this or believe that, and you have to agree with this and you have to agree with that. No. That is a great way to allow these fake GD Republicans to continue to rule. So let's see what's happening. This is from The Blaze. Vermont to question school children over Thanksgiving gatherings and require quarantine for violators. The state of Vermont has announced that school children and their parents will be questioned about the nature of their Thanksgiving gatherings after the kids return to school, and children in families that admit to violating the state's rules against celebrating with another household will be required to quarantine at home. I'm sorry, what? You're going to separate children from their parents and interrogate them about what they did for Thanksgiving in order to punish the parents? Are you flipping kidding me, Vermont? What the holy hell? Earlier this month, Vermont Governor Phil Scott, Republican, issued an executive order prohibiting gatherings of any kind between households. The state's website notes that the ban includes both inside and outside social gatherings in public and private spaces. On Tuesday, state officials delivered an additional threat to those who dared to visit Grandma for Thanksgiving. Children will be banned from the classroom and must return to remote learning at home for 2 weeks, or for 1 week if they can present a negative COVID-19 test after that time. In a lengthy Twitter thread on Tuesday, because this is how governors announce things now apparently, Scott urged citizens to do their part in stopping the spread of the virus as the state experiences a surge of cases, and asked folks to help by avoiding getting together with people outside your households and not travel this week. Unfortunately, we know some of you will still get together, and schools have asked for help, he continued, before announcing the Vermont Agency of Education will direct schools to ask students or parents if they were part of any multi-family gatherings, and if the answer is yes, they'll need to go remote for 14 days or 7 days and a test. I'm sorry, this is insanity. This is like 2020 is the year that people became stupid. Now, I generally have a great amount of faith in people. I really do. I believe that people can do whatever they want. I believe that they, yes, can pull themselves up by the bootstraps, work hard, achieve whatever goals they have in life. I don't think that people should put barriers on themselves, but it really seems like we're living in a time where so many people are just going along with this stuff. It seems as though people want to be put in these sorts of authoritarian prisons, and I just really don't understand it. Why are so many people just bending down and capitulating to what these little authoritarian governors are wanting you to do? It is no one's GD business who you spend Thanksgiving with. It is no one's business. And if I were these parents, I would have a little training session with my children saying, when they ask you what we did for Thanksgiving, here is exactly what you say. And you make them practice it. You make it like a game. Teach them to lie. Because in this scenario, lying is absolutely the very best thing that can happen. I'm sorry. And it's like the governor has forced parents into this position. The governor is literally forcing people, if they want to get together with their families, to teach their children how to lie to protect their own individual liberties and freedoms. This is the Republican governor's fault. The Republican urged businesses to adopt the same policy. So businesses are going to be policing the private lives of their employees now. Got it. We also advise businesses to consider asking employees to quarantine if they don't adhere to gathering restrictions. Dude, it is not your boss's business what you do for Thanksgiving. Lie. It's simply not that hard. State officials hope families will be honest, because I would certainly be honest if I was threatened with being locked in my house for 14 days with my kids because I chose to go see grandma. Vermont Education Secretary Dan French told the Burlington Free Press that state officials hope that family will be honest in answering questions about their Thanksgiving plans. No, none of your damn business. Schools operate on trust with parents and their students, and we're hopeful that this guidance will give them some additional tools to help everyone do the right thing and to keep schools safe, French says. The outlet noted that the rules against households interacting does not apply in workplace, at retail stores, or in schools. So you're honestly telling me, Dan French, Education Secretary in Vermont, that you are going to interrogate children about what their parents did over a holiday, and you think that this is a way to establish trust. This is a two-way street. We trust you so much that we're going to interrogate your children. Are you flipping insane? Like, what is wrong with people, man? So, like, I have absolutely no use for people like this. I really, really don't. Listen, if you want to spend time with your family over Thanksgiving, go spend time with your family. You are not, just because you leave the house without a mask or to go spend time with a family member does not mean that you're automatically going to contract COVID. You have to make the best decisions that are right for you in conjunction with speaking with your doctor. That's how you should be making decisions, not based on the governor of Vermont wanting to interrogate your kids or your workplace asking you what you did. Go talk to your doctor, make the best decision for you. And if you feel like you need to stay home and not gather with your family for Thanksgiving, dude, that's fine too. That is an individual choice. That is how freedom works. Oh my goodness. When is this going to stop? Here's the question I have. When are people going to stop taking it and saying enough is enough? We're not going to put up with this anymore. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. And that's probably the most alarming thing at all, that this is something that the people are doing to themselves. Listen, if you haven't read Fahrenheit 451 lately, go read that book, because the thing that's so interesting about Fahrenheit 451 is that the rules that they were implementing about, like with the book burnings, it was because that was what society wanted. If society had fought back, that probably wouldn't have happened. But those were the rules that society implemented on themselves. It's a terrifying track that we're going down when you think of it. All right, guys, I guess that's all I've got for this one. A little bit depressing, but listen, take something good out of it too, is that you don't actually have to follow these rules. No, in real life, you don't have to. You can go spend time with your family if you want. You can stay home if you want. You can cook whatever you want for Thanksgiving. Enjoy your holiday and don't allow anyone to tell you that you shouldn't do exactly what you want to do. That's all I've got for this video. If you enjoyed it, I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel, turning on notifications, hitting that thumbs up, because apparently that makes a difference. I hear from a lot of you that, you don't see my videos recommended. Well, apparently if you hit the thumbs up on the video, I guess that makes a difference. I guess give it a try. We'll see what happens. That's all I've got for right now. I'll see you soon.